get out and enjoy the hot springs, and then I'm gonna go to Huka Falls. So we are in Taupo today, on the North Island of New Zealand, known for Lake Taupo, known for a few other things. This is kind of the heart of the thermal explorer area, the geothermal active area of the North Island. You have Rotorua to the north, the Tongariro volcano complex to the south, and there are tons of geothermal pools, bubbling mud pits, hot springs. And one big thing that Taupo is known for is the Waikato River. The Waikato River flows through Taupo, and I don't know if you guys know this, but sometimes I pronounce things wrong. So please forgive me if I mispronounce Taupo and say Taupo from time to time. I forget that the AU sound here in New Zealand is an O, so Taupo. Anyway, there's a lot of different ways to have fun in Taupo. One of the main attractions on the Waikato River is Huka Falls, a massive waterfall. There's also some free hot springs. And there's also a few other nifty little free adventures like the one we're gonna get into today. So it is a misty, overcast, drizzly, rainy day here in Taupo. Has been for the past couple of days in this area. We figured what a better way to explore the area than not shy away from the water, but let's get all up in the water. In particular, let's get all up in the Waikato River. We are gonna be tubing down the Waikato River and then getting out at a free natural hot springs at the Hot Springs Thermal Park here, right along the river. So most people go down and they just enjoy the hot springs with overlooking the river there, but we're gonna go for a little ride first, get a little cold, and then warm up in those hot springs. And then maybe I can convince Sam to go tubing over Huka Falls.
Right.
Ma'am, no. What's the plan? Are we tubing over Huka Falls today?
No.
Come on.
No, I want to live.
Do you want to live or do you want to live? Do you choose life?
I do.
Or do you choose fear? It sounds like you're choosing fear.
That's not a good
What,
question.
you don't have confidence in your skills that you could survive going over Huka Falls in a Mudmaster tube?
No, I don't.
Well, I guess that leaves me to be tubing over Huka Falls by myself then. So these tubes are 15 bucks New Zealand at the warehouse, or 10 bucks US, and got a lot of use out of these, pretty versatile. So obviously if you're gonna do something like this, wearing a PFD is ideal and preferred. We do have 7mm wetsuits on, so they make us pretty buoyant. It's like wearing a giant PFD. Obviously need to know how to swim to do something like this, but if you don't want to do something like this on your own, you can also rent kayaks here to paddle the Waikato River. I think they run about 7,500 bucks to rent, but 10 bucks US for one of these, not a bad deal. The water is super clear. Another key point that I wanted to mention is I have added a lot of non-functional girth to my midsection over lockdown here, the second lockdown in New Zealand, and I cannot zip this wetsuit up completely because I broke the zipper. So yeah, I got that going for me. Pretty chilly. Yes. Ooh. Are you touching your arm? No, I'm holding on to this rope. So. Yeah, I don't know. Probably. Something like that. Where are you going? Oh, you're going like that? Can you hold mine? I'm gonna try and like sit. Yeah, you gotta hold on. So Sam loves tubing, but she's always really scared right when we first get in. And this is it's moving pretty swift. Something really important about this is if you miss the takeout point, you're going over Huka Falls and you're probably not going to survive. People have kayaked it, but in a tube, your chances are not good. So there are warning signs further down past the hot springs where it's like last takeout point on the left. So we're going to be getting out before that because the hot springs are on the right, downstream on the right. But yeah, man, if you don't know that Huka Falls is down here, I mean, it funnels into a narrow slot that drains the river. It's something like 200,000 gallons a second flowing over that falls. See, we're going to go towards the outside edge.
It's moving so swift that it was.
I know. Oh, look at that.
Wow. Spectacular.
So we're passing this island over here that we saw on the walk in, and I thought that it was like an abandoned building, but I think it might just be private property. But there's this really kind of eerie old house on this island. So I think somebody lives there. There's like the gate. Oh, there's a dog on the bridge that gets to the house.
Cherry Island.
It's called Cherry Island. What else do you know about this?
Tell us what you know. We want to know the story on Cherry Island,
Yeah,
please.
if you're a local, do you know what the story is with Cherry Island? There's a guard dog, there's a locked gate. And check out this bizarre house. I mean, it seems pretty cool of an island to live on, to be honest.
It's more secure than MIQ.
Oh, Sam's got jokes. Where's the dog?
Where is it?
I don't know, he's on the bridge somewhere.
Hey, Papa.
Hey, buddy. I think it's a pit bull. How's it going? You catching anything? Do you know what the story is with this house? Just somebody lives there? Has it always been somebody's residence, or is there like more to it? Oh, it used to be a cafe? Oh, cool. What year was that? 20 years ago? Was the food good? I would say the food probably wasn't good if they closed down, huh? Hey, good luck, man. Oh, when we get out at the hot pools, it will be. Oh, there's the bungee platform for the Taupo bungee, and then the boat that they pick you up in. So we're going through these narrow cliffs. It reminds me of those cliffs from Lord of the Rings that they filmed in Queenstown, but I don't remember what they're called. More of a lazy river float than kind of like a rapids float.
Unless you need to smile out of it.
Unless you,
Then it's not
unless you make it to Huka Falls, then it's not so lazy anymore. Unless you're headed straight for a tree like we are right now. And then you really gotta make Sam kick really hard to get you out of that.
Super big boulder.
She's not kicking hard enough. Oh yes, look at you. You did it. Weird hydraulics. Trying to film the hydraulics, but I spun around. Almost at the takeout point. Those rocks right there, that's where the hot springs are. It sounds like there's a few people enjoying them today. So some other people had the same idea as us. So Sam's gonna get out and enjoy the hot springs, and then I'm gonna go tube Huka Falls. Oh yes, perfect time to go enjoy the hot springs after being in this water. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, I would say. So the wetsuit might be a little overkill, but time to shed this wetsuit and get this non-functional girth that I have put on soaking in those hot springs. So they're not super hot, but the warmest pool is right up here by the bridge. Tiny little soaking area. There's kind of like two or three tiers that you can enjoy. Beautiful overlooking the river though. So nice. Nice way to end a float on the Waikato River, soaking in the hot springs there. Just wanted to point out, they do have these trails all along the river here for bikes and walking, so you can walk to Huka Falls, you can bike down there. Nice trail system here in Taupo. Now comes time for the pop quiz. How many things did I mispronounce in this video? Let me know down below in the comments. Plenty more coming from New Zealand. Have you hit that subscribe button and bell notification yet? Because if you haven't, you are missing out on a wonderful world of infamous adventures. Just another day in New Zealand. Plenty more coming. Get out there, find your adventure, and be infamous. Another key point that I should point out,
Infamous.